That guy is totally smart. Well, on the 18th of January 2015 this year, we are from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. Closing down one of the most exciting streets, which is Bree Street in Cape Town. In fact, it will be closed for traffic to host the acclaimed Open Streets, what they're called. A free public event that's aimed to transforming spaces. So we're talking here about creating a playground for adults and even our children alike. So take a look what this is all about before we talk to the organizers about Open Streets. Inspired by Bogota's Ciclovia, the largest recreational program in Colombia, which every Sunday turns 120 kilometers of city streets into car-free space for everyone to enjoy. Ciclovia has inspired new events in over a dozen cities, including San Francisco, Portland, and Sydney. Since 2005, open street events have increased tenfold. The Open Streets project involves the closing of a street to people driving and opening it to people biking, walking, skating, running, dancing, doing anything except driving a car. Open Streets Cape Town has become an innovative way to activate people as a community to transform public spaces. All you need is feet and a heartbeat.
One great thing about South Africans is we rise to the occasion when we're under pressure and when we've got something to celebrate at the end.
So open streets are about streets that generate respect for all of us. And those open streets are something that we all own. It's this public space.
What's interesting about streets themselves is that they transform over time.
It's about spaces for everybody, not only for business.
And I think part of what Open Streets can do is help people to see some of the potential and the fact that if a place maybe is a little down at heel, it can actually change. It doesn't have to be that way.
I thought that coming to Open Streets would be really boring, and I didn't really expect it to be fun. Yeah.
And it's all about having fun.
It's all about having fun. Well, a whole transformation. That's Open Streets, and the co-founder and director of Open Streets, Marcela Guerrero, is here with us in studio, as well as project manager Rebecca Campbell, joining us in our studio this morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What can we expect from this weekend? It looks like so much fun.
Yeah, so on Sunday we have Open Streets happening on Bree Street. It's a chance for people in Cape Town to really reclaim that street and to take that public space and do something different with it. So we'll have all sorts of activities happening, but the main message is about being able to do things in the street that we normally can't do safely when the cars are there. So take the cars out and see what happens.
I like how you say see what happens, because we're talking about cycling, dancing. I saw that they're even exercising and doing fitness classes. From your side, what's the long-term aim of Open Streets? I mean, why did you decide to have it? Is it a carnival, or is there a specific message that you're trying to portray?
Open Streets is a movement. As you could see on the video, it happens all over the world. There are over, I think, 100 cities that have this kind of programs. In Cape Town, about 2 years ago, a group of volunteers came together with a passion, and that passion was to improve our public spaces. And Open Streets fit the bill, and this is why we started doing it. You know, we had one in 2013 in Ops, and it was such a hit, and you've seen some of the images on camera. So we're going to try Bree now and see what happens. We are inviting a number of activity organizers to do things like yoga and cycling and you name it. But really it's for people to come on the day and spontaneously take over the streets.
Bree Street is in Cape Town, just to give you context if you live in other parts of the country. And normally our favorite designers are there, and it's a very, very busy street because it gives you access to a whole lot of points in Cape Town. How's government involved in the project?
Yeah, so as Marcela said, it was started by a group of volunteers originally, but the city saw what was happening when it happened in Observatory. They saw the power that it has, you know, the potential that it has to connect the city and to transform our streets. So they have actually come on board and given us support financially, and they're very
How can we encourage the rest of the country to get involved, seeing that you call it a movement, you know, it's not just a project?
Yeah. Well, one of our colleagues says that the first step is to recognize that the city has a problem and that the streets can be more than they are. That's how our manifesto reads. Cape Town streets can be more than they are. They can be places for communities coming together, you know, for providing a choice to get around the city differently, so it's not just driving, to provide stages for cultural expression and for social interaction more generally. So when a community comes together, a group of volunteers, it could also be a government department for all you know, the toolkits are out there because people have done it already, and we've been very meticulous about documenting our experience here in Cape Town. So we would be very happy if anybody around South Africa wants to do an Open Streets program in their city to provide them the experience that we have had so far.
I can't help but notice your accent, and it's clearly not from Cape Town or South Africa. Why are you so passionate about something that is South African and something that's so close to us? I mean, you just said it, it's a movement, it's culture, it's people that we can expect on Sunday, and basically we want to bring out this message of using our streets for other than just cars.
Well, I'm Colombian by birth. I've been in South Africa for many years, but this program was born in Bogota about 41 years ago. And I grew up every Sunday going to Open Streets. Over there is 120 kilometers every Sunday, no cars. You can imagine 2 million people taking over the city is quite a powerful experience. And so we might not have 120 kilometers in Cape Town to turn into Open Streets, but we can get there somewhere. You know, it could be less, and it doesn't have to be a network around the city. I understand that the geography of Cape Town is very different from Bogota, but we can imagine how that could happen. So in March, for instance, we're going to Langa, and we're going to see what happens there. And it's this ongoing experiment that we're inviting everybody to be part of.
Well, you can be part of this experiment and project. It's happening this weekend. So on Sunday, make your way to Bree Street. It's close to traffic, which means your car won't be allowed, but you can bring your rollerblades and your dancing shoes and all your music and take part of Open Street. Guys, thanks so much for joining us, and all the best. Good to have you on our show. Well, there's loads more happening on our Feel Good Breakfast show. This is Expresso. We're live on 3. Katlego, what's happening?